Hi all. Firstly, can I just apologise for the terrible service that you've been receiving over the last week or so. I haven't been posting updates, haven't been posting the draw selections or the NBM toolkit, and I appreciate that that's not what you signed up for, and I genuinely am sorry about that. It's the first time in 18 months that I've missed a period like that, a prolonged period. And it became apparent that it's not working the way that I'm updating you guys. The communication's terrible, and it's not on. It's been playing on my mind, so I'm trying to do something about it now, and I wanted to let you know what I've come up with, if you like. So I'm changing the way that I'm getting the data out to you, so that I can be realistic with my time and be realistic with what I can provide, because basically I'm guilty sometimes, or quite often, of doing the opposite of what everyone tells you to do. So instead of under promising and over delivering, I've been doing the opposite. I've been promising the world and not being able to deliver, purely because I want to help and I want to give you as much as possible, but it's not helpful when I can't deliver it, and I appreciate that. So I'm having to sort of be a bit more realistic with what I'm offering, knowing my circumstances and the fact that at times I can't rely on myself to be able to do the work that needs doing to the set time frames. So you'll see that on the website now there is a very large document compared to the ones you normally get daily, which has got a week's worth of data on it. I've been working pretty hard on it. It's took bloody ages, mainly because I use a Mac and I don't have Excel. I use Google Sheets, which has got a lot more functionality, and I didn't realise quite how much it differs to Excel. People told me that it transfers directly and you can just sort of change some of the formulas, but there are some formulas, typically the ones that I use, that don't work in Excel, particularly the sort function and the import HTML, which is where I get a lot of my data from. So basically I've had to use my wife's laptop as well. I think that, yeah. So I've got a Windows laptop. I'm having to do the work on the Mac, send it to the Windows laptop to turn into an Excel sheet, and then redo all the formatting so that I can get it to you guys. It's massively long, but that's my problem. So you'll see the sheet and you'll see the changes that I've made, and I want to make it right for not having provided what I should have. And there are some changes that not everybody will perhaps love, but hopefully through the rest of this video I'll be able to show you what's going on and you'll appreciate why I've made them. I'm going to be launching a Telegram. It sounds so spammy, I know, and I never wanted to do, but I get so many questions asking about the in-play corners, and in-play corners have been absolutely killing it for me over the last few weeks. I've got some examples that I'm going to post, and it's sort of separate to the Math Betman stuff in a way, because it's completely not based on formulas and based on massive amounts of research. It's very much an in-play strategy that is sort of more impulsive, and so I'm going to separate the two. So the Telegram group is going to be a paid group that's going to be separate to the NBM stuff, because of the change of the sort of differing content, but I'm going to make it available to everybody who's currently a member for free, because I'm sorry for being crap, basically. So I'm going to send out details of that, and you can join the Telegram group, and I'll be posting all day, every day, on anything that comes up that in play wise that looks good for corners, sometimes some over and unders as well. So you'll see that later on. That's what I'm going to do to try and make good. And yeah, you'll see in the rest of the video what the future looks like in terms of the spreadsheet. It's not massively different. You'll get the data a week in advance with all of the fixtures filled in, all of the calculated data. All it needs is you to put the odds in, and it's a dynamic spreadsheet, so when you do put the odds in, it will highlight where the value is. So I'm going to go through and show you that now, and if you've got any questions, just shout at me. And again, my apologies and my thank you for all your patience, and particularly thank you for all the kind messages that I've had, the emails asking if I'm okay, not complaining about not having content. I was expecting loads, to be honest, because it would have been justified. I was expecting quite a few. Where the hell is this? Because regardless of my situation, if you pay for something, you deserve to get it. It's, you know, my sub story is not your business. But the amount of caring messages that I've had, which I am going to get back to every one of them, you know, it's really heartwarming, genuinely is, and I appreciate all of it. So let's have a look at what's going on, and I'll speak to you again in a bit.
So, as you can see, Here is the data on an Excel tab rather than on the Google Sheets that I usually use. I'm on a Windows computer now, so forgive me if I'm a bit slow because I'm finding it really difficult to navigate my way around it after using a Mac for so long. So the usual, the README is the same. We've got our draw selections here that, as you can see, have got a ton more than usual because we've got 23rd, 24th, 26th, 27th, 28th. So we've got them all going forward for 5 days. The plan is they'll be out, everything will be out with you on a Monday morning. So I'll get everything done over the weekend and have everything for the week ahead with you on Monday. So we've got all the draws. They haven't got odds next to them because, as a few people have said, that not everyone uses the same bookmakers, so the odds aren't always accurate when people go to bet on them anyway. So it's kind of irrelevant what the odds are. It's only for me recording the results, really, and I can do that a different way. So basically, you want to be getting sort of 270 upwards on these, and usually they'll be above 3 anyway, so that's not really a problem. So you've got a week's worth of draws there for you to plan your bets going forward. And then if we have a look at what's actually changed with the data, so you can see here we've got the Premier League, we've got Argentina, Brazil. So we've got all the new leagues that I've added as a result of the summer leagues or winter leagues finishing. France, Japan. Some of these this week are coming to the conclusion, well, most of them actually the European League. So there's going to be some interesting fixtures, as you can see, all kicking off at the same time in France, the Premier League, and I know Spain and Italy as well, I think. So if you have a look, so this is where we've got a few changes. We've now got the date as well as the kickoff time because it's got the whole week's worth of data on it rather than one per day. So you can see I've highlighted in different colours so you can just keep a track of which day we're on. So with the Premier League yesterday was Newcastle, then we've got 2 games on the 1 game on the 24th, 1 game on the 25th, 2 games in hand, and then we've got Saturday's games all kicking off at, is it Saturday or Sunday? I'm not sure. The 28th all kicking off at 4:30. So you can see the only difference here is that you haven't got the odds that I used to copy and paste in every day, which was so laborious, it was ridiculous. And also, as I said with the draw selections, not everybody uses the same bookmakers. When I entered the odds, they changed so quickly. I was using Betfair odds. The markets can shift so quickly that it might show value, and then when you actually get to go and place your bet, it's not value anymore. So it is genuinely the best way to do it is for you to put the odds in when you get them. When you decide what matches you want to have a look at, just put the odds in that you can get at that time, and it will tell you if you've got value or not. So I've formatted it so that, and the reason for using Excel is that you can all have your own copy, obviously, whereas with Google Sheets it was a collaborative thing. So with these Excel sheets, you'll save your own copy. You can download it from the website once you remember. And I've formatted it so that if you do enter the odds in yourself, you'll see the value is highlighted. If it's above the value that we expect, which this one is 2, we're getting shown that it's value. So if we have a look just to show you consistency, and you can see where the value is entered. So it's really easy. So you can just go on Bet365, go on William Hill, you can go whatever bookmaker you use, you can go in, say, right, I fancy having a look at the Newcastle Leicester game. Well, obviously that's in the past, but fancy looking at that game. So here are the odds that I can get. Okay, looking like a home win. So it's a lot more accurate because you're putting the odds in exactly from the bookmaker you want and at the time that you want them. So we can see we've got all of these. We've got Argentina, Brazil, sorry, it's this Windows and this, France, Japan, China, the Bundesliga 1 and 2, Serie A, Eredivisie, Primera League 1 and 2, and the two leagues in Spain as well. So yeah, so you've got all the data that you would always have. It's just a case of putting the odds in when you want them. And I mean, I don't think anybody is going to be betting on every single game in here, so you're never going to need to put all of the odds in. If you scroll around and look at games that have got, I would suggest looking at games where you've got a short home favourite predicted. Look for the odds for that, whack that in there and see if you're getting any value. Same with maybe unders and overs, so maybe be looking at where you're getting sort of 194. If you can get above evens for the over 2.5s, then that might be interesting. Play with it depending on what your strategies are. So that's what we're looking like for the new set up. You're going to get that once a week at the start of the week. You can do what you want with it. It's going to be fully updated. So the sheets that are hidden, I don't even know how to get hidden sheets out of this. Like, I don't know. You know the data sheets that I've shown you before anyway, the ones with the tables. I'll be updating those twice a week to make sure that all of the selections are based on up-to-date data from the league tables. So obviously, as soon as you get one of these, if it needs updating twice a week, but it'll be updated whenever it needs to be after each game week, basically. So I'll update the fields in the background so that all you have to do is sort of just whack in the odds. These will always be up to date and accurate. All of these will always be up to date and accurate because I'll update the back end with the data, and all you've got to do then is whack your odds in for the ones you want. Anything that you see in the South American leagues that's still got this div, it's just because we're looking at first half data there, and there's still not enough games been played that will. Some teams haven't scored at home or away or conceded at home or away. So it isn't an error. It's just the fact that there isn't a data point to reference for the formulas. So I think that's probably it. No more waffling needed, really. So you'll find that on the website in the members area in the usual place. I'm trying to work on embedding it at the moment, like I did with the Google Sheets, but God, it's so hard with Excel. It has to be uploaded to OneDrive, which I don't have. My wife's got OneDrive, but then I've hosted it in her OneDrive, and the organisation she works for looks like they're prohibited sharing to all, so I can't do that. So, but basically, you can download the sheet. So at least this way, you can now download a sheet of your own and mess with it, and you don't have to worry about sort of viewing the Google sheet if you don't want to be using Google. I know most people use Excel, which is why I've made this switch, even though it's causing me a massive ball ache to do. Not your problem, my problem completely. But so I hope that makes sense. You've got all of your games there going until Sunday. I'm going to set up I've already set up the Telegram group, and what I'm going to do in there is post regular sort of multiple times a day corner selections that have come up in play that I've been using over the past sort of few weeks. I'm going to do a video with some examples of some of the bets that have been working, so I'm going to be posting those. I'll probably post a screenshot of the actual bet for you to have a look at and to make your own mind up, obviously. And I'll also do some for the overs and unders, and it needs to be that way because I can't predict them beforehand because it is very much in play stuff. And like I said, it's different to what we've got going on here in terms of the philosophy of research and stuff. It's two separate things. It doesn't mean you can't do both. Just because I'm a big fan of research and data, it doesn't mean that you can't also work on your sort of in-play game reading as well, which is what I'll be doing. And to be honest, I've just proved it's just over the past sort of 6 months. It just seems like I've got a bit of a talent for in-play betting, and I want to try and share it. I can't, as I said, tell you before the games have started which ones I'm going to be betting on because I've tried that before and it doesn't really work. It needs to be purely in play. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And everybody who is already a member, I'm going to make that available for free. So I'll hit you up with the link to the Telegram group and we'll take it from there. So thanks again for your patience, and all the best.